Yes, we've been experiencing some Facebook issues this morning. Oh, you know, this again, and also ready. All right, really a brief one here. Just trying to share this out a little bit. And let me get myself over here. How y'all doing this morning? Some I was in panic this morning. Facebook wasn't working. Shut it down. Shut it down. I don't know what kind of wrong. Let's share it out. Let's see. As well. That's my issue from start a bit ago, but we'll get this going here this morning. As we see, the title is Ownership Requires Execution. And if you are reading the description, it's just a and looks like we saw earlier this morning that everything sold, but control those. Facebook is not working. Guess what? All right, so one other place that we can check and make sure this is and so and push it. Into this topic on this morning. And that's what I want to do. Um, but we're gonna get this started here. Like I said, divine rising to every new kings and queens, or queens. So let's talk about this. Ownership requires execution, and so basically, it's been something I've been thinking about, and not just something I was thinking about, but it's something that occurred on this morning when I was on a call. We had a call every morning where we were talking about, well, they were talking about on this call, um, not execution, about put put first things first, the principle of execution, personal integrity, and building a life through discipline, actions instead of emotions, right? They were speaking about that on this morning, so I was like, that would be a really good topic on this morning about ownership requires execution. And so it's, and that is like most people already know more than they think. Let's think about that. Most people know more than what they more than they think they do. See what I'm saying? Most people already know more than they think they do. I'm gonna tell them together here in a minute. So with that being said, they know more peace. I mean, they know they need peace. They know they need healthy boundaries. They know they need structure. My favorite thing. They know they need to trust themselves more. but there is a space between knowing and living, and that space is called execution. And we're going to get into this real quick. I'm going to be before you tomorrow. And you know, I want to and kind of pause and hit what you hear. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll share that later. But let's get into this first point. Information doesn't change lives, but I think we live in a world with more information than ever before. Let me agree with that. We got another book, another podcast, another training, another video. The information by itself does not create transformation. At some point, we have to stop asking, what else do I need to learn? And start asking, what do I already know that haven't started living? And so let me ask you a question. What is the one thing you already know you will improve yourself with? What is the one thing that you already know will improve your life if you simply became consistent with it? Because again, it's all about being consistent and moving forward. All right, we never know about that. Anyway, so that ask yourself that question. All right. So personal integrity builds self-trust. So personal integrity builds self-trust. And I think one of the forms of confidence is keeping promises to yourself. Because every time you follow through, you partly teach yourself, I can trust me, right? And every time you ignore what you know, you slowly disconnect from your own leadership. So have you been waiting to believe in yourself, or have you been waiting to see yourself keep your own word? So let me say that again. Have you been waiting to believe in yourself, or have you been waiting to see yourself keep your own word? That's something to think about. Because a lot of times we don't keep our word to ourselves, but the sooner we can keep our word to other people, but not ourselves. And as I see it, if I can keep my word to myself, everybody else is going to catch my overflow because I won't keep my word to everybody else. Because at the end of the day, you are important. Your word is important. You feel me? Right. So busy is not the same as intentional. Busy is not the same as intentional. And I think when many women stay busy because busy feels productive. And I believe I talked about that in another live about being busy and it feels like it's productive that you're doing income producing activities and things like that. But activity can hide avoidance. So what are you avoiding? Sometimes we feel our challenges because we're trying not to face the one thing that actually matters. Execution asks us to identify the priority and protect it. So let me ask you, if you could only keep one commitment to yourself every day, which one would change the direction of your life? If you can answer that, not per se in the chat, but if you choose to find, let's see your perspective, what would be what you could change? You could commit one thing that will change the direction of your life. Let us know, just keep to yourself. Right. And so I'm about to come to a close, and I want to talk a little bit about why Black Queens Academy exists. And if I did not say it because of all the distraction, I am Shakika. I am the creator and founder of Black Queens Academy. And honestly, one of the reasons I created Black Queens Academy is not to give women more information, but to create an environment where understanding becomes action, right? And where women can build through clarity, structure, ownership, and sustainability. And inside the community, there are free courses like Stop Chasing, The Pasta Shift, calm, calm conversations that convert the business model explained because the goal isn't to create dependency. The goal is to help women to become self-led and to test their own thinking and to execute understanding instead of pressure. So let me ask you, what would your life look like if you trust yourself enough to follow through? What would your life look like if you trust yourself enough to follow through? And so if you have not gotten access to the community, you can access the community by going to Black Queens Academy /community. That may be in my bio. I'm not 100% sure where it may. I have a different link to it name, Black Queens Academy. Um, if you happen to go to the bio and you click on it, it takes you to the web page. I promise my web page. Um, that's just take a look at the page. But to get to the meeting is blackqueensacademy.com/community. And while I'm here, I'll just go ahead and put this in the chat. And uh, that way you can just do it if you choose. But we'd love to have you there. There is no pressure now. No pressure, no pressure at all. All right. Yeah, so you can find that in the comment section if you decide that you want to come in the community if you need to check out those free courses. Right. All right. And so let's talk about ownership with a daily decision. Um, I don't think ownership happens once. I think it happens every morning. Every single day. So when you decide to show up, to stay aligned, to keep our word, to become the person you said you wanted to become, not because someone is supposed to, but because our deserves our participation. So what part of your future has been made for one person? Ask yourself that. What is that one thing? And you know, like I said, that's an inner thing, it's an inner person, anything that I asked you this morning. But if you choose to share it, if you feel, you know, open to share that, that's fine. But I just wanted to share, I shared this on this morning. I've been trying to share it all morning, but having all these little hiccups. I had to delete some stuff and put it back, but in any event, here we are. So like I said, I think many women already have the wisdom they're searching for. They don't necessarily need another answer. They may simply just need to start with what they already know. And that's the heart behind Black Queens Academy. A place where women can move from awareness to ownership to execution because the future we're hoping for is usually built by the promise we're willing to keep to ourselves. So I appreciate everyone tuning in this morning. I am Shakika, and if you are tuning in, you watch this, let me know what you're tuning in from. You know this will be on the replay. And if you did catch it live, thank you for being here. And just let me know. I mean, like I said, it's no pressures on it. I mean, no persuasion or anything like that because I'm not about that life. We choose what you choose by self-amplifying and self-select. Again, I speak it. You have a divine day.